2019, BMW's M division did something it had never done before. It grew the most important part of its new engine inside a machine that builds shapes one microscopic layer at a time. Out of nothing. A cylinder head core, 3D printed in metal. A skeletal lattice so intricate that no foundry on Earth could cast it. They threaded coolant through channels that simply could not exist any other way. They bolted that head to a closed deck block, strong enough to take pressures the old M engines would have split apart under. They gave it 2 turbochargers, fed it fuel at 350 bar, and let it spin to 7,200 revolutions per minute. It was the most advanced petrol engine BMW had ever built. And then, before a single one reached a customer, they locked it. They capped what it could make. They wrapped its exhaust in a filter that strangled both its power and its voice. They printed a number on the spec sheet. 503 horsepower, a number the engine beats while completely standard. On a dyno, with no modifications at all. This is the story of the S58. The finest engine of the modern M era, and the one BMW refused to let breathe. To understand why the S58 matters, you have to understand what it replaced. The S55, the engine in the previous M3 and M4, was quick, but it carried a reputation, fairly or not, for getting fragile when pushed hard. Fueling limits, cracked pistons, a ceiling that serious tuners kept hitting. So BMW M went back to the drawing board. And instead of starting with a clean sheet, they started with the B58, the 3-litre straight 6 that, by then, was quietly powering everything from a humble 3 Series to the Toyota Supra. It was already one of the most respected engines in the world. The M engineers took that foundation, and they hardened every part of it. The block became closed deck, meaning the tops of the cylinders are tied together in one solid piece of metal, rather than left open. It sounds like a small detail. It is the single most important change in the whole engine, because it lets the S58 contain far higher cylinder pressures without flexing or cracking. In plain terms, it is the part that lets this engine survive enormous power. Then came that head. BMW grew its core using additive manufacturing, 3D printing in metal, the very same process behind the featherweight brake calipers on its flagship Grand Tourer. The shape they created would be impossible to cast. Coolant channels woven directly through the structure, exactly where the heat builds, keeping the hottest parts of the engine under control. 2 monoscroll turbochargers, one feeding each bank of 3 cylinders, packaged tight against the exhaust for instant response. Direct injection at 350 bar, a red line of 7,200. BMW went further still. An indirect intercooler with its own low-temperature cooling circuit, 3 radiators, a separate oil cooler, all of it there for one reason: to let the engine make big power again and again, lap after lap, without heat soaking and backing off. This is the difference between an engine that does one heroic dyno pull and one that can be leaned on, hard, for years. The S58 was built for the second kind of life. This was not a road car engine that happened to be fast. This was a motorsport engine, lightly civilized. The same basic unit, barely changed, races in the M4 GT4 on circuits around the world. BMW built an engine with enormous headroom designed in, deliberately. And then, they sat on it.
Here is where the story turns. The M4 competition's S58 is rated at 503 horsepower. That is the number BMW prints, the number in every review, the number on the window sticker. It is also, demonstrably, not the truth.
When the British tuning house Evolve strapped a completely standard M3 competition to their dyno, no modifications, factory everything, it measured around 530 horsepower at the crank, higher than the official figure, on a car BMW says makes 503. And this is not a one-off. The S58, like the Supra's B58 before it, is what enthusiasts call underrated from the factory. BMW quotes a conservative number and lets the engine quietly over-deliver. So why undersell your own engine? Part of it is decades-old habit. BMW has lowballed crank figures for years. But the bigger reason sits in the exhaust. To meet European emissions law, every M3 and M4 leaves the factory with a petrol particulate filter. The Germans name it after Nikolaus Otto, the man who built the first four-stroke engine. It traps soot. It also chokes airflow. And it muffles the straight-six howl that made these engines famous in the first place. So the engine is being held back. Not because it can't do more, but because the rules say it mustn't. BMW built a thoroughbred, then fitted it with a muzzle to get it past the regulators. The power is there. The headroom is there. It is simply locked behind a filter and a cautious map. And we have seen this pattern before on this channel. The M50, the engine that made this series. It was famously conservative on paper too. The BMW quietly handing tuners far more than the brochure admitted. The S58 is that same instinct, 3 decades on. But now wrapped in the tightening grip of Euro 6 emissions law. The filter isn't an accident or an oversight. It is the price of selling a 500 horsepower straight six in 2020's Europe at all. And this is the part that drives the whole story. Because that lock is astonishingly easy to pick. A simple software flash. A remap of the engine's computer. The kind you can have done in an afternoon for a few $100s. Around 200 to 300 pounds. It wakes the engine up immediately. And it is worth being clear about what that flash actually does. Because it isn't black magic. The factory map runs conservative boost. It holds the ignition timing back. It even limits torque artificially in the lower gears to protect the gearbox and keep emissions clean. A tune simply turns the engine up to where the hardware was always happy to run. More boost, more timing. The limiters relaxed. The closed deck block and the forged bottom end shrug it off. Because that is exactly what they were built for. You are not pushing the engine past its design. You are letting it reach it. Add a freer flowing exhaust, delete that particulate filter, and the numbers turn absurd. Independent dynos have shown standard M4s, stock turbochargers, just bolt-ons and a tune, putting down more than 600 horsepower at the wheels. That is comfortably north of 700 at the crank. From a road car. One M4 in Italy, with little more than an exhaust and the filter removed, laid down 640 horsepower. And if you go further, bigger turbos, built internals, the things that closed deck block was designed to survive. The S58 will make over 1,000 horsepower. The Red Bull Drift Brothers run one, tuned past 1,000, thrashed sideways at full throttle for 2 years, and it barely shows wear. None of this is officially sanctioned, of course. A flash leaves a fingerprint the dealer can read, and a tuned car that breaks can have its warranty refused. That is the quiet tension running underneath the whole thing. BMW builds the headroom, all but dares you to use it, and then makes you carry the risk of doing so. The engine says yes. The paperwork says no.
Think about what that means. In money. BMW sells you this car for the price of a small house. comfortably over $70,000, around £60,000. And the cheapest, fastest performance upgrade in the entire car world might be the few $100s it costs to undo what BMW did to the engine at the factory. The horsepower you are paying supercar money for, it is already in there. You are simply renting it at half volume. But BMW noticed. Owners started reporting that after the car pulled down one of its routine over-the-air software updates, the tune would vanish. The computer quietly reset to factory, filtered, restricted. The lock reapplied remotely, overnight. So the tuners reflash, and the cycle begins again. A genuine game of cat and mouse between the company that built the engine and the customers who simply want to use all of it. So what do we make of the S58? On paper, it is a contradiction. A company spending a fortune to engineer headroom into an engine, then spending more to hide it. But step back, and it tells you something honest about this exact moment in motoring. The S58 is almost certainly the last great combustion engine the M division will ever build from a clean foundation. Electrification is coming for the M3 and M4 next, and knowing that, BMW did something quietly remarkable. They overbuilt it. A closed deck block, a 3D printed head, motorsport internals. Far more than 503 horsepower could ever need. Because some part of them knew this engine had to last. It had to take whatever the next decade of tuning could throw at it. The restriction was never about the engine's limits. It was about emissions law, warranty risk, and corporate caution. Peel those away, and what's left underneath is one of the most over-engineered, most willing, most unkillable performance engines ever fitted to a road car. And that is what makes it such an extraordinary thing to own. Most fast cars are at their best the day they leave the showroom and only get slower and more compromised from there. The S58 is the opposite. It leaves the factory deliberately throttled, which means the single best version of this engine isn't the one BMW sold you. It is the one waiting on the other side of an afternoon's work. You are buying potential, sold to you as a finished product. BMW locked it, but they built it to be unlocked. And every owner who flashes that tune is, in a sense, just finishing the job the engineers started, and quietly weren't allowed to. The M50 made tuners rich. The S58 might be the engine that proves BMW was on their side the whole time. They just couldn't say so out loud. Next time, we leave Munich for Stuttgart, and the story of an engine Porsche tried to kill. Not once, but twice. The engine the accountants wanted gone, that the racetrack refused to let die. The Mezger Flat 6. That's next, on German Powertrain Stories.